There has been so much drama with the Premier League over the last 2 days. Arsenal just defeated Brighton 1-0 yesterday, while Manchester City drew at home to Nottingham Forest 2-2, resulting in Arsenal now being 7 points clear. Let's talk about it. When we look at the table, Arsenal currently have 67 points and City have 60. We will get more into the table later, but I just wanted to at least give the points. Look, is the title race over? No, it is not over. But with 8 games now to play, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and City put Arsenal in a fantastic position. They put them in a fantastic position just because, again, getting a draw at home to a team that's in a relegation battle, that is brutal. That is brutal. And I know Arsenal just did this last week against Wolves, even though they ended up, oh no, that was a draw. I was going to think they lost for a second. It felt like a loss. It was that bad. It was a draw. But still, that was at least on the road. This was to force at home. This was just a brutal spot for City to be dropping points. But hey, they helped out Arsenal, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But Manchester City made this a lot more difficult for them than I think they wanted to make it, because it was already going to be a little tight just with them, again, with how many fixtures are coming up. But now aiding Arsenal with an extra 2 points with only 8 games left, it's just going to be really, really tough moving forward. Let's talk about Arsenal first. Arsenal got, again, a massive win at Brighton. Look, was it a pretty win? Absolutely not, and that's becoming a reoccurring theme at this point with Arsenal the last couple games. The attack is cooked. It's just beyond cooked, but Arsenal's defense is just so damn good, and really, Arsenal just seems to be making every other team either annoyed, frustrated with some of their tactics. Look, the Premier League are not, they're not saying whatever Arsenal are doing is illegal, so teams are just going to have to adapt until rules change, and I think Arsenal obviously are the best team at what they're doing right now, so that's really what it is. But there wasn't much in this game. There really wasn't. I mean, Arsenal, I think, had 2 shots on target going into like 60, 70 minutes or something like that, but regardless, about 6 minutes in, Saka takes a great strike. It is somehow not saved by the keeper, and it goes in. Hey, it's a goal from open play. They can't say we can't score from open play. Arsenal, they score. It's 1-0, and that's really all they needed. Now, again, was the attack bad? Yes, it was really, really bad. But, man, the defense down the stretch was just so good, and we're going to highlight a few players because I feel like they really do deserve some recognition in this game. First, I'm going to start with David Raya. Again, this guy just continues to make big saves. He did almost mess up in the beginning of the game, but he got his stuff together, even while dealing with a potential injury. I don't know if that was a fake injury, but look, he's a warrior. He keeps us in games. Very, very reliable. Other guys I want to highlight are Gabriel. I mean, his leadership yesterday was just massive. He had a fantastic tackle where he and really save that he had against the mistake that David Raya made early on. But I thought his leadership, again, was the biggest part because Saliba sat yesterday. Saliba sat and Mascara played. And I just think having that type of leadership out there, a guy that's going to go all, balls to the walls, I think that was great for the confidence of the team. And again, I just mentioned Mascara, but I thought Mascara did really good coming in for Saliba. Was a little shaky starting, but once he got it together, he was good. It's kind of how most of his starts go, I feel like. And, of course, Hincapié. Hincapié has just become slowly is becoming one of my favorite players on the team. This guy is just locked in. He's just defending at all costs. And he was even, chirping a little bit with the Brighton manager. I just love what I'm seeing from this guy. Again, I know he's on loan, but, man, he is just such a good player. And one last thing I have to say about this game. The Brighton manager needs to focus more on winning games than whining. Oh my God, the amount of times this guy, he's talking about Arsenal prior. He makes some comments after the game. He's constantly on the touchline. Even I think Arteta was pointing at him a little bit. Like, it almost seemed like this guy was more focused on trying to prove a point that Arsenal aren't playing real football, but then actually forgot that he has to coach his team to a win. I don't know. Maybe you got to get your priorities right, but it seems like whatever Arsenal are doing is working because who left the building with 3 points? Arsenal did. So just some food for thought, but I had to talk about it because he was just getting annoying. I wasn't even at the game. Okay, my camera cut off because I ran out of storage. Regardless, screw the Brighton manager. That's all I wanted to say. Now to conclude this, again, Arsenal are 7 points clear of the table. Look, we will have to see how this all goes, but it's really not going to be easy for both these teams moving forward with just the amount of fixtures they have. I mean, Arsenal are in the UCL. They'll be playing against Bayern Leverkusen next week. They have the FA Cup on the weekend. Obviously, City do as well. And then they're going to go play Real Madrid, though I think they will beat them. That's not going to be an easy feat. And then these teams still have to play in the Prem till the end of May, all while also playing each other in a final in the Carabao Cup in just a few weeks. Like, there is a lot to consider here. Again, I want to see how both teams bounce back, how they respond. We won't have Prem for a little bit just because we're going to have the FA Cup on the weekend, and then we're going to have the UCL next week. But this is just going to be a crazy race. But my God, City, you guys helped Arsenal so much. I'm very grateful for that. Honestly, I am. Shout out to Nottingham Forest as well for really doing it to City. But my God, City doing this at home as well. I'm not hearing any bottle talk now from this. Like, come on, get out of here with this. I guess my only other take really is I feel like Manchester City. Maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself. But Manchester City are showing us why they are not the same team that everyone wants to say that they are, but they just are not. This team has showed us multiple times this year that if they wanted to close the gap, they would have done it by now. They are not the same team from the last couple of years. They're still a very talented side. I think they're a great side, but they are not on the level of the last couple of years for Manchester City. That's all I had in this video. Feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. Drop any of your thoughts down below in the comment section. My TikTok is in the description down below as well, so please check that out. And of course, if you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.